Hey guys, DippaReviews here. Today I'll be going through the Back to the Future Citizen Brand preview that we get at the end of Get Tannen. If you want to watch that, please click here. This will pretty much show you the ending of Get Tannen and the preview that is at the end of the episode, so check it out, it's quite a cliffhanger. If you haven't already, please click here to watch my Back to the Future It's About Time review, where I pretty much go over all the gameplay mechanics and just everything about the whole series. And yeah, it's a great series, so check out my review of it. And also, click here, and you can watch me play Back to the Future Get Tannen. I only did about 20 minutes of the game, because I put out part 1 and it didn't really get many views, because so many other people had done it, and so just click there, and you can watch me play Get Tannen. Anyway, let's get into this preview. What I'm going to be doing today is be analysing the preview and the ending of Get Tannen, and I'll just give my spin on what I think will happen next, and things that I may have noticed that other people didn't. Okay, let's get into it.
As long as your father's still born in 7 years, I say, let your grandfather sow his oats.
Sowing oats? Is that what's going on with you and Edna?
What are you talking about?
Emmett and Edna. They're gonna go see Frankenstein together.
That's odd.
I'm stopping the video here to explain to people what this is in case you haven't played Get Tannen and for some reason you want to know what the ending is. The ticket that is disappearing is, we found out during the game that when Doc is experimenting with rockets, it turns out to be a massive failure, and he goes and sees the movie Frankenstein, and that influences a lot of his experiments into him becoming a scientist. So now that the ticket's fading out, that means that he won't be influenced with a lot of his experiments and thus changing his future completely.
Great Scott!
What?
Okay, what has happened now is that Doc and Edna weren't ever meant to get together. Doc has never had a relationship that we know about until Clara in Back to the Future Part 3. But now that him and Edna have gotten together, it's practically changed his future completely. And as you can see, he's not going to be seeing Frankenstein, and he's created an alternate timeline, and it's going to change his timeline completely.
We've got to get back in. It's going to be disastrous.
Stop! Where'd you go, Doc? God.
We've got everything under control.
Doc?
Okay, I'm going to stop the video right here, and as you can see, it has changed Doc completely, creating an alternate timeline where he actually becomes some sort of dictator of Hill Valley, where he is ruling Hill Valley, and it looks completely different. Except the thing I don't understand about this is that if anyone knows Back to the Future as well as I do, you'll know about paradoxes and stuff like that. If Doc never became a scientist and never invented any of his inventions, wouldn't that mean the time machine wouldn't have been invented? Isn't that why Doc disappeared? Because he had changed into a whole different person and he wouldn't have been in the time machine in the first place in that timeline? So wouldn't that cause the time machine to disappear or cause a major paradox, because Marty would have never been there because the time machine was never invented? So I don't really get how that paradox is going to work, but I'm really hoping that they explain it in Citizen Brand, which I'm sure they will, but it really does need to be explained, because in the Back to the Future movies, everything fitted together so well, like all the paradoxes that could have been caused from anything they had done, they fulfilled them so it wouldn't happen. But in this one, it looks like they haven't done that, but we'll find out in Citizen Brown whether that's actually happened. Now that was pretty much the ending of episode 2 Get Tannen that we've just gone through. Now we're going to get into the good stuff, the actual preview of Citizen Brown. All this footage is from episode 3, Citizen Brown. Let's do this.
Martin McFly, age 18.
Okay, Doc, let's see what kind of nightmare alternate timeline I've landed in this time.
Father George, Mother Lorraine.
Okay guys, notice right here that this is the first time we have seen Marty's mother in Back to the Future the game. And in this alternate timeline, she looks like she kinda did in the first Back to the Future movie before he went back to 1955, where she's like just really stressed out and aging quite quicker. She looks a bit more like that. And also another thing I noticed was all the citizens are wearing the same clothing, so it must be like a uniform that Citizen Brown has made everyone wear.
Valley under Citizen Brown is not quite the contented town you were led to believe it was.
A re-education program? What the hell?
Please don't swear, Martin.
With Doc as this dictator, by the sound of it he's trying to create the perfect society where he rules everyone, and nobody by the look of it is allowed to swear, so that's where this re-education program comes into it. If you guys remember Edna, you know Edna, not 1931 Edna, but 1986 Edna, where she was really old and was naggy. She was really strict about teenagers, about behaving and no swearing. So that's where I think Edna comes into it, because her and Doc, I'm assuming, got married or are still together in 1986, and her influence has created this re-education program where there's no swearing.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Zero demerits, until this morning.
We're through, McFly. I'll never date such a square again.
My own girlfriend thinks I'm...
Okay, now by the sound of it, now that he has a whole one demerit, everyone thinks that he is like horrible and a criminal and stuff like that, and nobody thinks good of him in this alternate timeline.
I'm a square.
The obvious question, Mr. McFly, is... What?
Okay, notice right here that Doc doesn't look the same anymore. He has glasses and he is bald now. He never had glasses before and he was never certainly bald. This could be because in Back to the Future Part 2, when they went to the future, and you know how he said that he went to the future and got all this treatment done to slow down the aging process? Well, that could be why he looks like that and he's older. Except then again, if that is true, that brings me back to my paradox with the time machine, that it would have never been invented, and Marty shouldn't have been in this alternate timeline in the first place, so it's really confusing at the moment, but I'm sure we'll find out what's going to happen.
The obvious question, Mr. McFly, is... What happened to you?
Jesus Christ, Doc, what happened to you?
Now that was the whole entire preview of Back to the Future the game, Citizen Brown. I don't have anything else to say about it. Game. Oh, one thing I should mention. The time machine is broken in Citizen Brown. When he crashed through the sign, the time machine is now broken. So Marty is stranded in 1986. He is stuck there. And the way I think it will play out, the only way that he can get back to 1931 and fix it is by getting Citizen Brown to help him. I don't know how he will get this to work, but that's the only way I can see him fixing the time machine. So that's it everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time.